Aula virtual. Totus tuus. Bienvenido.
Hello everybody, I hope that you and your family stay good. So today we have to continue with our English class. In this case we have to continue with our 5 speech of English. In this class we have to look the topic of our second guide of 3B month. In this case the topic is adjectives. In English we have some words that describe or identify the words, or in this case the noun. But in this case, what is an adjective? So we have to look what it's about. First, we have to read this description. It said, an adjective modifies or describes a noun or a pronoun. It answers such questions as how many, how big, what kind, which, etc. So, the adjectives are the pictures words that make sentence more interesting. Adjectives tell color, number, kind, size, shape, flavor, age, condition, possession, and nationality. All these about of the noun or pronoun. So, in this case, the adjectives we have to use when we need to describe person, object, or animal. So, now, did you remember that our class? I tried that you understand all this. For this reason, our part is in English and Spanish. Now I want to explain you in Spanish. It said, los adjetivos dice que modifica o describe a un sustantivo o a un pronombre. También responde a muchas preguntas acerca de una descripción. Estas preguntas pueden ser cuánto, qué tan grande, qué tipo, cuál, cómo, qué forma, etcétera. Dice que los adjetivos son palabras que en este caso van a describir de qué manera son los pronombres. Son palabras de forma gráfica, que en este caso se hace más interesante a la hora de describir un objeto, ya que los adjetivos dicen el color, el número, el tipo, el tamaño, la forma, sabor, la edad, la condición, la posición o la nacionalidad. So, we have to continue with the explain of this part. So, in this case we have different kinds of adjectives. I told you that these adjectives, the function, or in this case the use is for to describe some nouns or pronoun. In English we have some different kinds of this, and I show you some of them. In this case we have to look the first one we have to look descriptive. For example, in the descriptive adjectives we have beautiful, pretty, tall. In this case I showed you just 3, right? But we have a lot of, like for example, short, big, small, thin, fat, I don't know, yellow, long, large, expensive, easy. Yeah. So in this case the descriptive adjectives have the function that describe the noun, what is like, right? So in this case I show you some example. Listen and read with me the example that I show you. She is beautiful. So she in this case is the pronoun. Is the linking verb that we have to use to join the adjective and the pronoun. So in this case the pronoun is she and the adjectives is beautiful. In this case, show what is she like. In this case, she likes beautiful. So I tell you other example. I am, for example, in this case I am short, you are tall, my mother is pretty. Yeah, example like this. So we have to continue with the next part. In this case we have proper. The proper adjectives mention the nationality of the person, yeah, or some object. If you look in this picture, I have some examples of them. We have Alaskan, Guatemala, European. We have, for example, American, English. So in this case, show the nationality of the person. I tell you that the adjectives have the function to describe nationality too. So I showed you some example. In this case, I am Guatemalan. I is the pronoun. In this case, Guatemalan describe, or it said that what is the, in this case, the nationality of the person. Yeah, where are you from? So we have to continue with the definite adjectives. In this case, the definite adjective is not a specific, yeah, it's not a specific word, but in this case, it's to depend of the context of the sentence. Yeah, I showed you some examples of them. In this case, the bird is in the forest. Yeah, but it's the same if I say the apple is in the forest. Yeah, don't change when you write the sentence, but change when you translate the sentence. I told you in Spanish now. So, tenemos diferentes tipos de adjetivos. Tenemos el descriptivo, que les muestro 3 ejemplos. Beautiful, hermoso. Pretty, precioso. Tall, alto. Algunos ejemplos de ellos es she is beautiful, ella es bonita, está describiendo cómo es ella. Los proper mencionan las nacionalidades de las personas. En este caso tenemos 3 ejemplos de ellos: Alaskan, Guatemala, European. En el caso del ejemplo nos indica yo soy guatemalteco, ¿sí? Está describiendo la nacionalidad a la que pertenece la persona. Es una forma de describir en este caso. Luego tenemos con el adjetivo definitivo. En este caso, el adjetivo definitivo no tiene un significado propio. En este caso va a depender del contexto de la oración. ¿Cómo así? Si observamos el ejemplo, nuestro ejemplo dice the bird is in the forest. Es lo mismo que yo dijera the apple is in the forest. Es decir, que en la escritura no va a cambiar la palabra the, sino a la hora de crear el contexto. En este caso, la oración que aparece en el ejemplo, el oso está en el bosque. Pero si yo quiero decir la manzana, voy a utilizar exactamente la misma palabra. Por eso se le conoce como definitivo, que en este caso va a ser definido conforme al pronombre o al sustantivo que estemos usando. We have to continue with the kinds of adjectives. So we have to indefinitive. In this case, we have 2 words, a and. So in this case, did you remember that in the past classes, we have to look that a you have to use when the word begins with a vowel, yeah? In this case, I show you some examples. I have, yeah, in this case, I have an apple. Or they look a picture. Did you remember too that and you have to use when begin with a vowel? A that begin with a consonant. Yeah. For example, apple begin with vowel. For the reason I use an. Picture begin with a consonant. In this case, P. For the reason I use a. Yeah. So in this case, to refer to the quantity of the noun. Yeah, so we have to continue with the possessive. In this case, we use the same like a pronoun, but in this case, it's mentioned to the adjective. For example, my, your, his, etc. I showed you some examples. In this case, the sentences said, my sister is pretty. My is to describe that, in this case, a possession. For this reason, is considered to an adjective. So we have to continue with demonstrative adjective. Did you remember that the last guide we have to look this, that, this, those, but as a pronoun? But in this case, I show you this word or these words that adjectives. Yeah, in this case, to show you what is the position of the object, or what is this. For example, in this case, that is a verb. I tell you that this thing or this person, yeah. In this case, we have to use demonstrative. I explain you now in Spanish. Un adjetivo indefinido, tenemos dos palabras, a y an. Como se recordarán, a lo utilizamos cuando la palabra inicia con consonante y an con vocal. Los posesivos son aquellos que pues demuestran posesión, por lo tanto se consideran como adjetivos. Por ejemplo, en este caso, my sister is pretty, mi hermana es preciosa. Y los demostrativos, como en la guía pasada, tenemos los 4 this, that, this, those, que ya conocen cuál es el uso de cada uno de ellos, pero que también se considera un adjetivo por mostrar, en este caso, la posición o el objeto que se está mostrando. En este caso, aquel es un oso. Okay, so we have to finish with the grammar. Thank you for your attention. So I hope that you don't have a question, but if you have, don't hesitate to contacting my by email or my WhatsApp. So I tell you goodbye. See you.